Daniel, would you come here a moment? What do you think this is? Looks like a countdown. Of course it is. I know this one. Magnets.
Chevron 7 is locked.
You go, you.
Hey, you go, you, everybody. Well, welcome back to the Stargate Files, everybody. We got Skeeter. We got one of our favorite guests coming back, Nerdy Neil. Good to have you back, brother.
Always good to be back and talk Stargate. I freaking love the show, so love being on here and talk about rewatching episodes. Gives me a good excuse to go back and watch more Stargate.
Oh yeah. So, what you been up to, Neil, lately? I know we did every Stargate Atlantis like top 5 episode.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did top 5 Atlantis episodes. That was on April 14th, so almost a month ago. That was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, that one had to be really short because a
couple of us
had to go to another stream. But regardless, it was still a lot of fun. But yeah, over on my channel, I've been very busy. I've been streaming a lot.
Yes, you have.
So it's time's flying by, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I'm doing my Mass Effect, my Metrovania Mondays. I've been doing my party chat. I've been doing Satisfactory with my buddy Lowest Expectations. Retro Rewind, where I'm playing retro games. Like I just last night, I was doing finished up GoldenEye, moved on to Perfect Dark, and Thursday nights I usually do my open mic, but tonight, you asked me to come on, so I put that on hold, and I'm here to talk some Stargate.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I am freshly back from a vacation, and my little shout out is I got Jaffa cakes while I was in Canada.
Okay, I was going to ask you where you went.
Yeah, these are actually from Europe, but the United Kingdom, I believe. That's correct. Oh no, Australia. Distributed. No, made in the UK. Distributed in from Australia. ETY Limited. So, yeah. So I got something that I've been looking for a very, very long time without having to pay a lot of money for it.
So you knew about those, went looking for them.
Well, I've known about these for a while, but like you try and find them online, and it's like I'm not paying that.
Okay,
like, that's insane. And we just happen to go to like a candy store, like a legit like candy store. We go inside, we're looking around. I find like Batman Pez dispensers, Batman tins. I'm a Batman nut.
Okay,
FYI, everybody.
No,
and then I
never
saw
guess
these
the Batman symbol
sitting there, and I'm like, done. And it was the only one that I had. So I
very
bought it.
nice. I've never seen them before, but if I saw them, I would have to pick some up.
Mm-hmm. And I will probably try these next week on stream. I'm a little full and a little like food and deserted out from like the last week of vacation. So
one thing I was going to ask you about is on your intro, do you don't edit it every week to throw in scenes from the episode you're talking about, do you?
No.
Because a lot of those scenes were from this tonight's episode, so that was just by coincidence.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, when we had Nerd Slap working with us on the intro, we specifically had certain scenes we wanted, and then we said, have at it with the intro, and he went crazy with the rest of it.
Okay,
So,
because I started noticing, like, oh, that's from tonight's episode. That's from tonight's. Oh, like a lot of these are from tonight's episode. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure you don't edit it every week to throw in scenes from the episode you're talking about. So, just by happenstance, it was tonight's episode that a lot of those scenes are from.
yeah, we insisted that we have to have the pyramid blowing up.
That
was one that all of us agreed to.
Yes, if I did a Stargate show, I would absolutely have to have that in my intro as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Skeeter, what you been up to lately, brother?
Come try everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Everything's better now. I've been busy with, my business, and then I'm trying something new with my 3D printers. So I'm trying a second round of printing something.
Okay.
I've never done lithophanes before, so the first one just came out really dark. So I'm working on another one, trying to make it better.
Keep it in a mystery on what that is.
It's actually our logo.
Oh,
so,
sweet.
So it's like, all right, let me try to see if I can make that look nice. And the first one, you could barely see it, and I had it up to like super bright LED, and I'm like, yeah, I could still make it out barely. So I'm like, I did something wrong. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got too thick. All right, well, thin it down. But yeah, that's what's going on in the printers. Otherwise, I did some test ones to try to tune it in and thought I had it right, but no. Now I do. Hopefully. We'll find out when this is done.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last thing I was working on was like a Farscape Peacekeeper pistol. So, and it printed up really nice, but it's in like 4 parts. So I still have to figure out how to like actually get it all together in like one piece. So we'll see about that.
Yeah. The only other thing I've been printed off, I got to go hang it up yet, is Spider-Man brand new day masks. So
very nice.
Oh yeah. You've been working on that one for a while.
Yeah, I got all the magnets put on, so it's a wearable helmet. Now I just got to go hang it up and with the other helmets.
Okay. That's pretty good. Not much news in the world of Gate World from what I gathered. I tried to stay in the loop on like Twitter and everything, but other than I did notice one thing here really quick, and then we'll get to some awesome episodes tonight, everybody. Let's see. Darren from Gate World has his list of his live streams he's got on Fridays coming up for the month of May here. He had it updated. And so he's got Lawrence Maroney, he's got Nick Gross, and he's got Mr. Ibreck. I follow Ibreck on Twitter and everything, so that's a fun handle to follow. Bryce Wars, and then I will be on the last Friday of the month. So we still have to figure out the topic. So he's probably going to be watching this replay, going, "Yeah, Jeff, I'm going to be talking to you soon." So
that's awesome.
That'll be a fun one. And let's see. I think that was kind of about it for anything that's kind of floating around out there. For no more SGA builder models or anything like that, or I'm sure you would have told me about that.
Yep. So nothing new.
All printing something fun. Still got to decide my next thing. My favorite thing I printed off last was this Stargate sign that Skeeter's got on the back of his door.
Yep, back there.
So,
and then the SJ symbol or shield, Stargate Command. And remember, you can always get a Stargate Command T-shirt from my store.
Yep, we'll put a link in the chat, and it's also in the description down below if you have access to read the description. Not everybody on TV can do that, as I found out earlier today.
That's true. I did not think about that, but it's becoming more and more popular on TV, which you can't really scroll the comments and stuff. At least I don't think you can.
I watch YouTube on my TV, and if it's live, I have it on the TV, but I comment on my phone. So
that makes a lot of sense.
That's what I do too half the time. The other half the time, I'm like, I got an extra computer off to the side. I can kind of chat, but I'm usually listening. But when we're done after this, I'm probably going to load up YouTube on the TV next to this in the movie room here. So, but that being said, I think we can slide on over to some episodes.
Yeah.
We're getting into the last round of Jonas episodes, especially for season 6 and a little bit of season 7 coming up. Yes, I know there's more than one. Not going to get me on that one.
As he corrected you.
There's more than one what?
Oh, Jonas episodes in season 7. I thought there was only the one, like the pilot, and I completely was like, whoops.
Yep.
Everybody corrected me, and I'm like, well, that's a great way to start an interview. And I left that in. It's like totally fine. And let's see here. We are on to Prophecy. The team finds an impoverished world enslaved by a Goa'uld underlord, but their plans to free it may be compromised when Jonas experiences unexplained visions of the future. I call this the Lord Mott episode.
Yep.
It's kind of like a traditional kind of Goa'uld villain, but without all the charisma, I would say. He had the menace down.
Yeah.
But what we get here is a very good Jonas-centric episode, in my opinion. And I feel like this is the last time they're actually building towards whatever his character was going to do in the future. So as we get into this, what's your favorite part? Skeeter, let's start with you.
Yeah. Like I said, this is an episode. I wasn't sure if they're trying to build up Jonas more or they were trying to kill him off of the episode, which they were kind of trying to get rid of him. So
they could have in this one actually killed him.
Yeah, could have killed them off. Trying to save the team. But yeah, let's see. Get to my pictures here.
Yep, not a problem.
Yeah, we start off with yet another great start of the show with a beautiful planet.
This was cool.
The extra bright sun flare coming off.
J.J. Abrams, watch out!
Yeah, try to distract you from the CGI tents.
They should not be black. Let's be real here. You do not do black when you got some like that.
Yeah, they should have been tan colored to match the scenery. But right away we hear a voice. And then we see this famous mug. We meet El-Ori, played by Thomas Kopek, who everyone knows he is one of a handful of actors that appeared in all the new Stargate series.
Yep.
He played 2 minor characters in Next Generation, reoccurring character Kia Taban on Deep Space Nine. I think that's how I never watched Deep Space Nine. And the character Borsa on a single episode of Voyager. His timeline on Enterprise included the character Toss and the Alien.
Yeah.
Additionally, he had a bit part as a oh wow, I got a typo in here. As a officer on Star Trek Star Trek Generations movie. So he was also an officer in there. But otherwise, you could see him in Catch Me If You Can, Leaving Las Vegas, No Country for Old Men, Jessica Jones, The West Wing, Stigmata, which I remember him from that.
Patricia Arquette.
Yes, I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
And Strange Invaders, just to name a few of the
Strange
tons
Invaders?
of shows and movies he's been in. Yeah.
Okay.
So not big time role, but he was in it.
Dust that off.
Yeah, I saw he's got that memorable face.
Oh yeah.
One recognizes him. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see him in this. I'm like, oh yeah, now he's been in all this other stuff since this,
Of course.
Then we meet
this guy.
Chazin, played by Tom Schlott.
Schulte.
What was it?
Schulte.
Schultz? Okay. He's been in The Core, which I remember him from.
Oh yeah.
Wild
I don't remember
Cards.
him in that, but I've seen it.
Hey, Rick. Oh, that didn't pop up. There we go.
Come try it.
And remember,
Ooh, 7 months membership.
months,
Right on,
congrats.
brother.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
been 7 months.
Yeah.
But anyway, The Core, Wild Cards. This is the funniest part when I was going down the movie list. Sisters and Brothers, Fathers and Sons. Yeah, it's like 2 different movies, but I think they're connected.
I'm like, are those sequels? What are we
They're-
talking here?
I'm not sure, but they look like comedies.
Is he play the same character or is he different characters?
I didn't check. I should have.
That's a good question.
Walking Tall, The Thing Below, our favorite one to always say, Da Vinci's Inquest,
Oh yeah.
The X-Files, and he was in a single episode of Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So
That's where I remembered him from.
I still got to watch all that show.
I have it if you need any help with that.
I'll
let me know.
see if I can find it. So I was just happy tonight. I found all 4 seasons of Channel Zero in on
yeah.
DVD, and I was like, "Yay!"
There you go.
That. So, next we got Doc Frazier is back, looking good as always, but sorry, allergy season. But those X-rays have me a little concerned and confused. Maybe Jonah should be in the hospital because if you look carefully, there is a lot of issues with those X-rays showing a ton of objects and or huge cancer cells all over his whole head. I mean, it's like here you can see a little closer up on the next time they showed it. He has objects around his eyes, and he's got in the center of his brain a bunch of masses. And if you look at the top of the screen, there's a huge ball mass, and then it goes from the top to the bottom of his skull. So I mean, it's like,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
no one really looked to see all, even the one on the left. It has a ton of issues. It's like, yeah.
Do you think
Jonas
that when
might
they
be
made
dying.
this episode, they thought someday, like 30 years from now, someone's going to look at the MRI scans on this episode?
Probably looks better on like Blu-ray or on high def TV like that.
It's
I didn't
that,
even notice that.
or there's metal in the, that's the only other thing that would make an MRI scan look like that.
Hey, Corin, and
or X-rays.
minds want to know, hey, what's going on inside that head of yours?
Yeah, I'm a freak guy, but it's killing me. But they're saying he's totally healthy according to these scans. No, he is not Doc Frazier. Try again. Then we meet Cena, played by Johanna Newmarch. She's been in A Cinderella Story, Christmas Wish,
Hallmark movie?
and a bunch of others. Yes. When I hate this title, this is like the 3rd time somebody's been in this. When Calls the Heart. It just trips me up every time. When
Definitely
Calls
a
the
Hallmark movie.
Heart. But very well known for it. She was also in Supernatural, Puppet Killer, Entanglement, Project MC Squared, which looked like a college flick, you know what I mean?
Can't touch this.
Yeah, a lot of the front cover was a bunch of girls in bikinis, so yeah.
Oh, sold.
And she was in another movie called Earthlickers, which kind of looked interesting. Zombie Punch, Just One of the Girls, which is one of my favorite movies from my childhood. 21 Jump Street, and a ton of Hallmark stuff from movies to TV shows also. But she'll be back for one more episode in Fallen Season 7, Episode 1. So we will see her again.
I do like the upgraded outfits for the Toker at this point.
Yes, it's getting better, almost Vanessa Angel quality there. You know, it's like
Almost.
It's an actual style. There's an actual style to it now. Who do we meet next? We meet.
I looked him up, and no, those two movies, Brothers and Sisters and Father and Son, he's different characters.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I forgot to look. We see someone is being a very naughty boy, and we got a nice callback to the communication hand device.
Yep.
So almost should have been in like for full circle.
Well, you'd think that you would see more of this, considering how simple of you just all you got to do is show the object. You don't have to show the conversation at all. So
yeah, that was a good use of like implied information that you don't have to directly show, because there's something I want to talk about later that is, in my opinion, bad use of implied information.
Yep. I lost a slide. I just realized it. We also meet the daughter of Elori. Her name was Natantia. We meet her in the tent before he runs off, and then we see her again when she frees Jack and teal'c and the rest of the crew. Natania is played by Sarah Edmondson. She's been in Salvation, At Home in Midford, Continuum, Edgemont, and a bunch of other Hallmark stuff.
Hey,
But
don't knock Hallmark. They get a steady paycheck and a good career.
She's also a big-time voice actor in a bunch of different TV shows, movies, and video games. It was a super long list, but like My Little Pony, for one of the bigger ones. So
cool.
I think she was also
good work.
in, what was that called again? Something. It's a Canadian cartoon show, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Well, as your Canadian expert around here, I was there for a week. I clearly don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. We see Major Pierce is back with the rest of SG-15, people with no names. Then we also see the shock grenade get used. Yes. We also saw Siler with another hand injury. Sam getting zapped back to life after being zapped to death. I thought that was kind of funny. She gets electrocuted to death, and then they electrocute her to bring her back. Then we meet Lord Mott with this very flamboyant look, played by Victor Talmadge. He's been in The Game, Copycat.
Game, that was a good movie.
Hidalgo, which as soon as I saw the name, I remembered him in the movie. Dead River, Manhattan, Big Mama's House 2, Jack, Naked Souls, Web of Deception, and The Equalizer. So
he was also in Star Trek Enterprise.
Yes. I did skip it. Sorry, I did miss that.
What's up, Comtria? There's Valhalla.
Yeah. Okay, Rick.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Or wine moms.
Next, I'm going to say, oh my God, they killed Walter. As we see in this vision. Thank you.
There was a future vision that didn't actually transpire on screen, though.
Yeah. Plus, the guards in the gate room suck at shooting. They're like
oftentimes
20 feet away.
And you can't mow down those things.
Oh man, I
was saving that for a different part, but yeah.
That later too. Yeah, all the guards can't shoot for crap in this episode. I don't know what happened, and for some reason, the Jaffa got better aim.
For once,
it's like the stormtroopers actually learned to aim.
Exactly. That's when you knew it was fake. It was a future vision. It wasn't actually going to happen.
Then we got, do you think that will help? It works for teal'c.
So it's worth a crack.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. You know.
It was a cool visual, but
Yeah. Oh, there's a photo I didn't edit. I could see a spot just above the match, a little ways, about almost shoulder height with Janet, where you could see the light from my window creaking through or peeking through on the screen. So it's hard to see, but it's there. Then next I got can we
scalpel.
Get a real neurosurgeon? No way would a surgeon be doing that delicate of work, leaning back like she's afraid to get close, or she's trying to look through bifocals, wearing regular safety glasses too. Neurosurgeon or any delicate surgery, they have specialty glasses that have like miniature microscopes on them that they look at. Especially brain surgery, they always have that, or they use the robot to do it. So she doesn't have that. She's leaning back, all scared.
Also, she needs a hairnet. There's no way they have any hair sticking out from underneath those caps.
Janet has her hair out too. But anywho, this surgeon, Dr. Sandy Van Denson, which only doctor we got here that had like a full-on name, you know, for a part-time.
Don't be so dense, Skeeter.
But she's played by Karen Kornovo. She's been in, get ready for this one, I sound like I'm repeating myself. War of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, she was in the trilogy. Okay.
Yep. So it started with an M. I totally forgot. I should have put it in my notes. She was also in Wild Cards, Snowpiercer.
The show or the movie?
The show.
Oh, okay. The one I have not seen.
Yeah, the one I haven't seen. I saw part of it, but I didn't.
I saw the movie.
The movie was all right.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit disappointed. I like the concept though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the concept and some of the visuals were like, that's awesome.
She was also in Shamigadon, The Good Doctor.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, man, this is a heck of a name.
You are having a week this week with names and stuff.
Yeah, especially with my allergies kicking in. So
yeah.
The Good Doctor, The X-Files, Tin Man, and Millennium. She'll also come back in Atlantis, in Identity, Season 5, Episode 18, as second in command.
Okay.
That's her role, second in command. I thought that was kind of weird, but it's always like that. And then, the final scene that I really enjoyed was the way that Jack and teal'c look around the room. Like, why is everybody armed to the teeth, ready to shoot and attack us? And Jack goes, expecting someone else, sir?
Dang,
I love
Skeeter.
that. Sorry, it was such a good scene. So, yeah. Sam gets a healing face. You actually seen Wild Cards. It was amusing. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, that's on my list to watch because it keeps popping up.
There you go.
But, Neil, what you got?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder there, both of you guys already.
Sorry, we'll let you go first next time.
Yeah, you can still recover it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a specific part of the episode that I like best. I didn't actually write anything down. I did write a couple of lines that I really liked.
Cool.
And a couple of things that I didn't like about the episode, but right at the beginning of the episode, after the intro, that was one of my lines. It was with Jack. He's like, "You go, you." So I wrote that one down because that was pretty great. It was like the kind of like the "who's on first" sort of thing.
Yep.
Since Lord you. But yeah, then the other one, you didn't quote it, but that scene towards the end when they come through the gate and everyone's armed to the teeth. He's like, expecting someone else, sir? So as usual, O'Neill's sarcasm and dry wit is just is always like the best lines in any episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I was going to mention is when the title card of the episode comes up, Prophecy, there's like a monitor behind it of like the security cameras, and it almost made it seem like it was, that one right there made me think of I have no idea what episode it was, but I think there was an episode, I think it was the one that when Nirati was in the base because she was invisible.
Oh yeah.
And she was like spying on everyone through the security cameras. It made me think of that. So I thought maybe there was someone on the base that's not supposed to be there. But that was not necessarily a red herring. It's just, that's what it made me think of. So.
Yeah.
No, yeah. There's some, I call it some good parts. I wouldn't say like favorite moments per se. A little bit on the more comedic side, this one. But it tries to get a little heavy with Jonas and his condition, and like, you know what, Nirati's been screwed with him in that machine from a few episodes ago, and we're clearly, it felt like they were setting something up for Jonas, and we can get more into that in just a minute. But like, I like the idea of like, even if you did take this out of him, you still don't know what could be affecting him in the future. Like something else could be triggered. Maybe it was designed for that thing to be taken out, and then all of a sudden it's still there though. And he can still get like little flashes of ahead of time, but only by like a few seconds instead of moments. Like that could have been an interesting idea, and any other things that they could have gone with. So I think Corrin did a fantastic job in this episode. Didn't feel like any too awkward for him. It actually was nice to see the character moments with also Jack and Jonas at the very end, and even with Carter at the beginning of the episode. Like it was nice to see Carter being like, yo, he's one of our teammates. We gotta take care of him. She's checking on him. She's actually checking his neck because he fell. It's like, that's appropriate medical procedure. You want to stabilize that neck, so in case he had a neck injury, it doesn't get aggravated. And she's also then probably checking like his eyes and his pupils, like, is he awake, is he out? Like medic training 101. Good job. And just that stuff with Jack at the end where he's like, you're supposed to be resting. It's like, I think this was the point, like the cast and the crew were feeling, all right, we got this. I mean, they've been doing really solid work the whole season, but it felt like at this point, this is that big moment of he's part of the team, he's one of us going forward, and the story, and we're setting up some stuff for potential arcs going on. And I like this episode. I'm not going to say I love it because it does feel like it drags a little bit at times. When Fraser yelled Jonas, yes, exactly. A moment like that with Doc Fraser, sweet as can be, and she cares about everybody on base. And so those are some of my favorite moments. But Neo, you already went over a couple of lines. Was there any others you might have liked?
One other thing I did want to mention that I thought of while you were talking about that is kind of some more, Jonas had some more, character progression in this episode, if you will. And one thing that was cool, that it seemed like he was willing to, die essentially in order to try to keep whatever tactical edge they could with his limited precognition. And if it wasn't for, them doing the surgery without his permission, he probably would have said, he probably would have gone to his grave just trying to, help them in any way that he could. And I don't remember if it was Sam or I think it was Dr. Fraser that said, it's like, you don't have anything to prove, right? I think he said that earlier in the episode, and it seemed like he's always still trying to prove something because he probably still doesn't really feel like he's actually one of the team yet. So,
right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got that line for you. So I agree. That was a good line.
That was one thing I just thought of for not necessarily a specific scene, but just like something that he portrayed throughout the episode, because he's just like, give me more time, don't do the procedure, don't do the surgery, until he had no choice.
Yeah, he had that lingering guilt ever since like the previous season in Meridian,
Mhm.
and Daniel dying, or I'm sorry, ascending, as we'll get to in a next episode here. But like him carrying that weight the whole season, you actually felt that from him. No, he wasn't depressed all the time. He was always trying to stay upbeat, trying to contribute, learn as much as possible, to be as valuable of a member as he could be without being annoying. Because that doing a kind of a character like that can get grating. It can get annoying, and he did not do that. And that's also a part where I feel like some older fan members, when they were not digging Jonas, I think eventually when they came around, and thank you, Ruby Ho, for the gifted membership. That's right, righteous of you. I think that's about the time they started to realize, you know what, maybe we were a little too hard on him, because it felt, some people will feel like he was pushed and rushed through the whole season and forced. By about this time, you kind of lose that argument, because he's gone out of his way and he's had some really awesome moments by this point in the show. And this tends to be where people start to feel, you know what, I actually was liking Jonas, and then they brought Michael Shanks back. Great, we get another whiny guy back on the show again. Granted, he wasn't whiny anymore when he rejoined the show.
I don't know if I asked this last time, but do we know exactly what the behind the scenes reason for taking Daniel off and bringing him in to replace him for the season? Was he only going to be one season, or was he going to stay on longer and things, writing team changed or something? Like, do we know exactly what all that was about?
Yeah, Corin talked about it in this when we
a little bit
about what happened with him. With Daniel, we didn't get the
Michael
Michael Shanks. Yeah.
Well, just look at it this way. Most shows do their contracts for their talent season by season. And once they are renewed for multiple seasons, they renewed. Most contracts have a natural evolution up to about 5 seasons. Season 6 and 7 are usually options. And he could have easily just said, you know what, season 6 and 7, I'm a little burnt out doing this show. I don't want to be typecast. I want to do other stuff. He's a very big stage actor. He wanted to do plays. He wanted to do other things. And he just needed a little time away. And granted, there were stories. I don't know how accurate these were, but they've been in like the interviews with the Gate and Gate World, where even he's admitted, I was a little bit of a pain in the ass the last season because I was just unhappy. I wasn't creatively fulfilled. I just wanted to go do other stuff. So we probably just used his natural out in season 5 being on Showtime, like, oh hey, well, this is a good spot for the show to end. Richard thought the show was ending at season 5 as well, but they took it that step further, and Michael was like, okay, see ya. And by that point, that's when they did Meridian, and Corin basically said this was his trial run to actually bring him on for season 6, because at that point they knew they were bringing him in, and this was their way to figure that out.
Okay.
If I'm probably missing parts and probably more important notes, but that's kind of like the Cliff Notes version of what I think happened.
All right.
But Michael coming back was all right, but I like Jonas.
I love Jonas.
Easily could have moved him over to Atlantis. So
yes,
and even he said they were talking about Atlantis at at season 5. Like they had an idea where they were going with that. It just took them a little bit longer to get there, actually. But Skeeter, favorite lines?
Jonas at the beginning. I had a dizzy spell. It was probably the food.
Probably with the half-eaten pork chop bones.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say with that pork chop bone. Yeah,
that's what it looked like to me.
That's what I was thinking as well.
So, but Jack holding it up like, yeah, I'm not eating that.
Like, this is interesting food. It's meager portions of what we have. Yes, we're on the Oregon Trail, everybody.
Yep. Then I got another one for Jonas. It was, you guys don't believe me when, wait a minute. Oh, I love my autocorrecting. When I ask,
I love your autocorrecting too.
When I ask for spelling mistakes, it makes mistakes sometimes.
It's like me texting.
He goes, "What? You guys didn't believe me when I was seeing those alien creatures? They turned out to be real." Jack looking at him saying, "So
Not
you're
wrong.
seeing things before they happen." Jonas, right. Jack, like, what's for lunch? like, yeah, I'm not buying it, you know. Then later they're in the conference room. Sam goes, "It's hard to believe that you hasn't been destroyed yet." Cena says, "Given that he's the only system lord still in opposition to Anubis, his persistence is remarkable." Jack, you go you.
But then he has that weird little facial thing, like, what?
Oh,
that wasn't cool. Like, come on, give me something here.
I kind of like, oh yeah, you don't get that reference. So,
Even the I like the Tok'ra reaction was like,
she's like,
what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, you don't get you.
yeah. Then Jonas saying, "Colonel, you of all people should realize what an advantage this could be. Imagine if we knew in advance when and where the next Gould attack would come from." Teal'c says, "You have yet to provide such valuable information." Just like nonchalant, like, yeah, not happening. You didn't produce
Pretty
anything.
accurate.
Yeah. And this is what Neil was trying to say. This was a line Janet I found was a very powerful line. You still think you have to keep proving yourself, don't you? You know you might want to consider the possibility that you're valuable enough. I love that. That was really good. Like, yeah, this is the episode we all know. Yep, he's 100% part of the team. So it was good to see that and hear that. Then I got two more. This one's kind of long though, but Jack and the team are stuck in that jail cell, just waking up. And Jack says, "Every time I wake up in a Gould cell, I can't help the thought that something bad's going to happen." Lord Mott walks in. "You are the Tari of Stargate Command." Jack, "And you are Lord Mott, come to punish us for insolence," etc. Yada L. And Lord Mott says, "That is correct." Jack says, "Yeah, well, Mr. Mott, we're on to you. We've got you. We got your plans, and we informed the Tok'ra. If we don't report back on schedule, they're going to rat you out in front of the entire." God, I love my corrections. "They're going to rat you out to your boss. They're going to snitch on you." Lord Mott, "You intend to send a warning to Ball?" Jack, "I think that's what I said, isn't it?" I said that. And then the last ones was near the end. Teal'c asks Jonas, "Are you still having visions, Jonas Quinn?" Jonas, "Not since the surgery, no." Jack says, "So no lottery numbers?" Jonas, "I'm afraid not." Jack, "So no trip to Vegas, just you and me?"
That would have been a fun episode,
Yeah.
actually.
Jonas the Rain Man.
Yeah. Instead of taking them to the lake.
Tell me where the fish are.
Yeah. Missed opportunity, Rick. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. They all seem to be like the life-threatening danger kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh well, it didn't work out. Say la vie.
So one of the things that Skeeter mentioned earlier, I'm glad he brought that up because I forgot that when I was watching it, I was like, I don't know what he's referencing because I haven't been watching,
Right.
every episode along with you guys. But when Jonas said something about what you guys don't believe me, I was right about the alien creatures. What was that about?
That was quite a ways back in this season. That's where they found the device on another planet that made a low energy field that showed different dimension bugs
Sight Unseen.
Sight Unseen.
Oh, okay. That's the one where they tried to quarantine SGC, but it got out to the nearby town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody that touched got that ability.
I didn't realize
to
that
see.
was in the Jonas season.
Yeah, yeah.
I do remember that episode though.
So it's like when you look back and you're like, "Wow, these were all in the same season together." Wow, that's actually a pretty consistent season.
Yeah, I remember the thumbnail for that one on what I watched. It was the space slug on the windshield of that dude's pickup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Thanks
they're
for
out of
connecting
phase.
those dots for me.
Not a problem.
They're out of phase. Well, then I'm not talking to you. Wouldn't we just fall through the floor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that part of Wormhole Extreme. So if I'm out of phase, doesn't that mean I fall through the floor?
Yeah.
Huh?
We'll have to get back to you on that one.
My
Yeah.
son.
My sign. Yeah. I like that episode. That
was a good one.
That was it for lines for you, Skeeter. And I had a clip from one of them.
I can't help the thought that something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
I like how he just puts that emphasis on
Bad.
it's gonna happen. Like, and I'm waiting for. At that time, I'm pretty sure I was doing that whole 2010 episode, and we're walking. I was waiting for him to do, and we're waiting.
Yep.
I think the closest we got was to the other guy's episode.
Yeah.
Soldier in Tombs. So, but there's some decent lines in this one. Now, the big question comes down to what are some of the things that maybe did not work for you? And Neil, let's start with you.
Okay, so I wrote two things down. One is kind of like I don't know, like a double-sided coin. I don't like it, but it makes sense and it's good for the episode and storytelling. Is that the guy that was like the traitor? It's like I hate that guy. Conniving, scheming backstabber who's the gold lackey, and he sold him out. Didn't like that guy, but I mean, it makes for a good episode. So that's where it's like it's good and bad. But the one thing that I legitimately didn't like it was towards the end. They come through the gate. That's where were you expecting someone else? And they're like, hey, we need I think it was SG-3 and SG-15 to go back, and Hammond says, permission granted or whatever. And then it cuts to the end of the episode. It's like, whoa, I want to go see you guys go rescue the people. So that's the part I was referencing earlier, where it was implied and they didn't show it, but I don't like that they implied it and didn't show it because I wanted to go see them win and save the people. So
a little unfinished business.
So that was really the only thing I didn't like about the episode, is just skipping over that whole little chapter.
I completely agree with that. I actually wrote that part of that down too.
I assume it was probably for runtime or something, but I was a little disappointed that they just skipped over that whole thing. We didn't get to go see him kick Mott's ass.
Yeah.
Well, this was written by Joe and Paul, so I would believe that they probably did write it. They just probably had to cut it for time.
So, but yeah, that was really the only real thing I didn't like about the episode.
Okay. How about you, Skeeter?
That part too, like the ending felt like it was too quick. Like, they're like, all right, we're going to go back and get the rest of the people saved and whoop Mott's ass. But never did.
Well, Mott was dead.
Yeah. I feel this episode too, because we know
that's right. I forgot that the woman shot him.
Yep. So, but I never know. Symbiote might have cured him.
True.
True.
That I felt like this episode was the episode there possibly could have killed Jonas off easily, because there was talks about, we got to get him off the show right away. People didn't like him initially, and now they don't want him, so and they did it way too quick. They're like, all right, yep, we'll get rid of him. We'll try to bring Daniel back on, and it's like, no. And I felt like this could have been a possible episode where, yep, this killed him. He doesn't survive the surgery, but that's why I don't like. I love Jonas. He was one of my favorites that should have stayed in the show, moved to either Atlantis or some other part, reoccurring role in either one of the shows.
Universe might have worked, but that's kind of like a whole different animal.
Yeah, that's a stretch. Like I could see him working on both SG-1 and Atlantis, going back and forth.
Yeah, one of those that just goes between a little bit. That would have been all right too.
That's the thing I didn't like. It was on the edge of him dying, and I didn't want him to be killed.
Yeah, I also felt it was like on the edge of it. It looked like they were setting something up, but this could have been the easy out. So I think that's probably the best way to look at this episode is they were setting something up, but it also could have been an easy write-off.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I would say about this episode is, okay, so we're doing brain surgery in a concrete walled room. That's not sanitary. That didn't look like the appropriate setup for something like that, too.
That's sure not properly set up for that.
Because you were pointing out like earlier just the outfits and the goggles and everything else. I'm talking the whole room in general. Like that was not like I'm looking at exposed wire run there.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's
conduit,
it's Romex conduit or whatever, but
do they have a clean room in SGC?
I don't know.
Should.
Well, yes, they do, but this is not that room.
Yeah.
That's the observation room where they have the floor about halfway up the wall and they look down on it. That's their clean room. So this is not that room.
They should have a room that is able to do this kind of surgery because in a later season you find out some of the personnel actually gets hauled off to a certain hospital at a certain point. Like you definitely get treated first here, then you kind of move on to another hospital in the area. It just feels like they probably didn't have the time or the budget to actually make it an appropriate room. It's just one of those little nitpicks in the background of.
I never would have thought of that if someone, has I typically have extreme attention to detail, but not quite to that level. So
I know it's like we're kind of
up on that.
Nutty nerds over here. So
one other thing I was going to mention about what I said, I didn't like how they skipped over that whole section of going and freedom. That's just like kind of a pet peeve of mine just in storytelling in general. So that's not specific to Stargate because movies do it all the time, other TV shows, just any sort of story where they like talk about something and then they cut to the end and you don't get to see or hear what actually happened. That annoys the crap out of me. I hate that.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, not a fan of that. And it was, as was mentioned earlier, so the Jaffa come through the gate and they actually can shoot. And we got like 20 guys in the room who should be at the top of their rank and shooting skill level. And they can't mow these suckers down as they're one by one coming through the gate.
And they're not exactly moving that fast, and they're only coming basically straight at them. It's not like they're going sideways, making them a much more harder target to hit.
Yeah, and even though they threw the gold like flash bomb, you would think that at least a couple of them were slightly prepared with a proper eye goggle in case it is a gold attack. They could go, "Oh, we see that," and just drop it down. So yeah, you always at least have maybe the turrets at least, because there's enough coverage they could have just looked down, closed their eyes really quick, and that could have. But it's like, oh, and Rick.
It's because
they close the iris immediately.
They shot up there right away.
Though.
Oh yeah, I know. It just adds to everything else that you're thinking about. I'm like, oh come on, man.
They didn't close the iris because Sam and Hammond were up there, and they got hit by an explosion or something, or it was
a blast from a staff weapon.
Hammond was one of them had to get up, and they did close it, but by then it was too late. So.
But they also have the manual control in the gate room. Somebody could have, while the firefight was going on, could have been right over there and manually closed the iris.
Okay. But one other thing we were talking about Jonas is like, I like Jonas a lot too. I would not have mind at all having him stay in the show, but I think I mentioned this last time I was on, or one of the previous times, because I don't understand why it's Jonas on the box here and not Daniel. He's in one season essentially, and he's on the Blu-ray set instead of Daniel.
I do
Jonas
not
was
get that
better.
either.
He's better.
So I like him a lot, but when Daniel's one of the main characters for basically 9 of the 10 seasons, I don't understand why Jonas is on the box.
The box of Wheaties. That's what we're doing here. Wheaties check. More marketable.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk
Come
about.
try it. What's up, JK?
Yep, what's up, JK? And JK, I tried to do that thing earlier. It's still not working, so I'm gonna have to take a little closer look at what we
How
were
much
talking
did
about.
Corn pay them to do that?
I agree with Skeeter.
Ooh,
Yep.
I like that hashtag.
Well, let's talk about some scores. Nerdy Neo, what would you score this thing out of a 7 Chevron Gate?
Oh, out of 7. That's right. I forgot. Do you do halves or holes only?
You could do halves.
I do. Let's say the gate's spinning to the next one. So,
Okay.
It just doesn't quite get there.
yeah.
That's 7. I'd say probably like a 5.5. Like decent, but nothing quite to write home about. They put 2 aliens on the box because of
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Phil.
That's a good one.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Although are the humans in the galaxy?
Jonas is better than Daniel.
I mean, it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all the humans across the Milky Way are originally from Earth, right?
Correct.
So is he really an alien? I mean, Jonas, of course. We know
Yeah.
too.
He's our third
Well,
cousin.
He is a different kind of human because when they tested him out,
Oh, the Naquadra
dirty,
stuff.
the Naquadra affected their DNA, and he's a different kind of human.
Like a mutation.
Yeah, like an
Okay.
alien human. Yeah, hybrid.
At least they didn't girl boss that cover and put Carter out front. Although they could have, and it wouldn't have made anybody upset.
But yeah, I'd say probably like 5.5. It's decent. Nothing. Not anything that was too major. Not anything that's like, oh, this episode was great. It was decent. So I had no problem. We were watching it again. I wasn't. Once I remembered what episode it was, I wasn't like, I don't want to watch this one. I want to skip it. So definitely good.
Awesome. And how about you, Skeeter?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 5 chevrons spinning to the 6th one, so that's 5.5. It's a good episode, but there are quite a bit of flaws, some issues that could have been ironed out a little better, but still, I watch it every time. Rewatch. I like to see him because Sam's smiling, so Jack's improving or Richard's improving his lines because she's always smiling big when he's doing a bunch of different improv lines. I noticed that throughout the series that she'll have a straighter face, on a serious thing, and a small smirk. Or if he's improving, she's smiling a lot bigger, trying to hide it like she is here.
Like she's somewhat amused in character, but really, somebody say cut, please.
Now I know Richard Dean Anderson is notorious for being a prankster on set and stuff. Did he improv a lot of his lines then?
From time to time, he had executive producer status, so he could make adjustments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally, what Joe said when we had Joe Malazzi on, he said relatively everybody stuck to the script, but they would do occasional additions or redo a line. You've done it 7 times. Okay, let's redo it one more time. Try it your way. See how it feels. And then they go from there. So there was some improv, and some characters had a little more freedom. He had a lot more freedom because he was also an executive producer. He could make that call.
Okay.
So for me, I'm gonna go. Oh, this is gonna be a rare time. I'm thinking 5.5 too.
Yeah.
So 5.5 getting to 6.
Oh,
I like the episode. It's
Trendsetter.
it's really enjoyable. I never mind this one. Just some of the nitpicks kind of make you go, they just pull it back just enough. But I'd say the story's pretty solid. I think the writing is really good. I just feel like some of the editing kind of got to this episode a little bit. And I can understand how some of the budget being cut as much as possible because of what we're about to get into. And the next one is like big feature film level kind of action and CGI fest going on. So I'm pretty happy with a 5.5. fan rating on Gate World is a 7.60. So
Okay, right there.
that's not bad. And Darren's rating is 2.5 stars out of 4.
That means he is
Just
a
a
good
tick-
episode and just a tick higher than normal that he finds is a good episode.
Yep, it's a damn good episode. Highly recommend everybody check out season 6. And yes, thank goodness Walter didn't die, or that would have been a Walter counter. Walter dies once. Nope, didn't happen. Never happened. This isn't the death you were looking for. That's my May the 4th reference for you all out there. Because I don't think we get any more like Star Wars jokes for a little while.
Revenge of the 6th, yeah. Just in case,
I didn't think of that one.
5.5 also. All right.
Hey.
Everybody's on board on this one. We're all agreeing on that.
All right. Well, then let's roll on over to the Big Daddy. I think, yeah, this is true. This is very true. So let's get on over to the big season finale of season 6. We have Full Circle, everybody. SG-1 is called to defend the people of Abydos from the Goa'uld once again when they learn that Anubis, in search of a powerful device, is about to attack. Yeah, I'll take that one from Darren. All right. You did all right on that synopsis. That was probably the official one from the Sci-Fi Channel days because they sent that out to basically everybody and probably including TV Guide. But as no shock to everybody, Michael Shanks returns to the show in full force this time. The best part is basically the beginning of this episode and some of the interaction later on. And we're going to get into some of our favorite parts here in just a second. But I just want to point out, this is probably one of the best season finales of this show leading into a brand new season. And what the hell is going to happen next? Because cliffhangers galore. This one's a doozy for everybody because you actually get to see a little bit of what Daniel can and maybe cannot do as an ascended being. So, Skeeter, what are some of your favorite parts of Full Circle?
I promise. Leo,
wait.
go first.
No, not that. I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
How many times did Daniel show up over the course of the season? There was obviously this one. There was the one where Jack was being tortured by Ball.
Abyss and the Changeling.
And Thor, when he was doing Thor's
voice of Thor, but that doesn't really count as Daniel Jackson.
Okay, we'll count as half.
I meant Daniel Jackson appears in his ascended form, is what I was implying.
Twice until now.
Twice.
So this would be 3.
This is 3. Okay.
And then we'll start with you and Nerdy.
Yep.
Okay.
Best scenes.
Yes, as you implied, I don't remember if this is exactly the very first scene of the episode, but when Jack is in the elevator and Daniel shows up and he just immediately goes straight into this tirade about everything bad that's going to happen. And he, Jack's like, "Hi, Daniel. How are you? How's the weather? How is it being ascended?" Just that whole interaction. And as exactly what Rick is talking about, when Daniel turns around, he like recomposes himself and he comes back with like, "Hi, Jack. How's it going? How are the kids? Not
Are the
obviously
knees in
you
the
wouldn't
back?
ask that,
Oh,
but
they're kind of weather related, but yeah.
asking all the the small talk topics. This is the whole elevator scene is freaking fantastic.
It is brilliant. I completely agree.
Yeah, that other one I will be mentioning shortly as well when we get to Lions. But yeah, this scene right here in the elevator is definitely my favorite scene in the episode.
You have any other like favorite moments or parts of this one?
I got a
there's
number
lot
of
that happened
favorite
here.
lines.
Yeah.
But the two things I wrote down for favorite parts of the episode is right here at the beginning with the elevator, and then at the very end of the episode, like literally the last scene of the episode. Since we're right at the beginning of time of this episode, I didn't want to quite spoil it yet, but the end of the episode was a very bittersweet ending to the season.
Yeah.
So I really like that, but I won't talk about quite what happened at the end of the episode yet.
Not a problem.
Just so we don't jump the gun.
Skeeter, how about you kick us off with this one?
All right, let's start from the beginning. We see Skara's back, played by Alexis Cruz, and he's
I love him.
I like him too, and I did a little extra digging, and I'm like, wait a minute, we already covered him. So, but then all of a sudden I saw something popped up. I found out he is just like me. He is an ordained minister. I did not know that.
Really?
Yeah. So,
yeah,
him and I are both ordained. That's pretty cool.
You'll have to give him a gift at the Christmas party this year.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, but just so you know, when I'm at those conventions for being ordained minister, I go by Father May I. So keep that in mind. I still love throwing that out. Gets people, everyone I know who's watched Repossessed understands right away. Everybody else is like, what? I'm missing another slide. We meet the Aberdonian leader, played by, this is my next one. I had one of her. It's gone. It didn't transfer over to my slides for some reason. The leader is played by Veena Sood. Yeah, Veena Sood. She's been in Wrongfully Accused, The Big Year, Time Cop, 50-50, If I Run, Super Team Canada. That's the anime I was trying to think of before. But she's in it too. Children Ruin Everything. Deepa and Anoop, another anime. Corner Gas animated. Welcome to Marwin, which is, I love that movie. I remember her in that too. That was not a funny movie, but it was a really good, serious movie about PTSD. She was also in Salvation, Ghost Wars, The X-Files, Supernatural. She was in 4 episodes of Battlestar Galactica. Another one of Jeff's favorites, Da Vinci's Inquest. And I did not know this one. This one made me laugh when I saw what she was in. Super Dave's All Stars. So for a couple episodes. She also comes back for one more episode, Stronghold, in season 9, episode 14. She's going to come back as Dr. Kelly. So she survived the ending of this episode and made it to Stronghold as Dr. Kelly. Or ascended to be her. Daniel popping up to save the Aberdonians when he wasn't supposed to. In that same tent scene to tell him, don't worry, I got you. I love the elevator music when you see Jack walking to the elevator. You hear that music kick in, and it's an upbeat, fun sound. And I'm like, every time they kick that, you know it's going to be a really funny scene coming up. So, and then Daniel just pops up, and the music scene changes right away again to be more serious. But yeah, as you can see in this, I couldn't get an exact good photo, but the guy on the far left behind Skara there is an Aberdonian played by Terrence. He's mainly a stunt coordinator and stunt director for movies and TV shows. He helped out on Stargate a few times, so they just needed an extra person, and he hopped in.
That's where I recognized him from. Oh my god, I like leaving you to do this because I'm like, if I look into this, I don't want a fake reaction of like, oh, I literally don't do this work. I let Skeeter do it.
Like I said, he's done over hundreds of TV shows and movies, but he's been in 16 movies that he acted in also. Most of them are uncredited. Here are some that he did do. We got Fringe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation, though. The X-Files, and Rumble in the Bronx. So he got to work with Jackie Chan. That's pretty awesome.
I actually have that sitting out. I'm gonna rewatch that soon just for fun.
Yep. He also comes back for one more episode as Jaffa number 2 in Adventure 2.0, season 7, episode 9. So we go from being an Aberdonian
Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, Jaffa cakes. That makes me want to try one. I got a buddy up in Canada. Maybe I'll have him look around for me too.
Yeah,
couple of them. Actually, 5 of them. Yeah, 5 of them. But yeah, that's who it is on the left of Skara and the background. Every time I try to get his face turning, or when it was turned towards the screen, I'd hit pause and it just where he turned his head back. Like, damn it. So then we see my ship I built. I mean, we see Anubis's mothership.
That's my Corvette, baby. Ooh,
that thing is so badass looking. And you see it, you're like, oh, that's, normal size. It's not till near the end when you see the other Hataks come in, and you're like, holy crap, that thing is huge.
It really gives it scope and perspective.
It's to the scale, yeah. Next, we meet Tobey, played by Sean Amsing. We saw him in the last frame too there. He's just to the right of Skara. And then he's been in Champagne Problems, Noel, Always Be My Maybe, Blame the Accountant, The Guard, Da Vinci City Hall, not Inquest. So, and he's been in Supernatural. Get this is funny. As Anubis.
Oh my god.
I thought that was so funny. I'm like, wait a minute, he plays it. Oh yeah, he did play Anubis in Supernatural.
Watch out, David Palfy, you're getting replaced. Ugh.
Yeah. He's also been in all the Stargate series. In we first meet him in season 1, episode 1 and 2. Just episode 1 as himself, Tobey. Then he is Othosian. Othosian, thank you. I knew I said it earlier today, and I'm like, I'm going to forget how to pronounce that again.
I was cycling that in my head, and then Neo took care of it for me. So I didn't have.
I remember the name the Athosians, but I forget who the Athosians were.
Yeah.
Right.
The Athosians with Swiss Army knife in hand. That's the title of the character he's playing in Atlantis, season 1, episode 1 and 2, Rising. He becomes a Destiny civilian in Universe in season 2, episode 9, The Visitation. Or Visitation is the episode.
Oh.
So yeah, he hit all 3. And that's pretty good.
Were the Athosians the ones that were trying to sterilize humanity in 2010 and 2001 episodes?
No, Athosians were
That's the Ashen.
The Ashen. That's right. That was the Ashen.
The Athosians, they're the first human planet we touch base with in Pegasus, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it was Atlantis. Okay.
So they're like the refugees that they bring back to Atlantis initially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. For a minute, I'm like, I think I know this.
Teal'c people.
Yeah, Taylor's people. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
right. I should know.
Yeah, then we see teal'c with the rocket launcher, and this guy blind shooting at a death glider, and he hits it with the rocket launcher.
I attributed that to it's got
No.
tracking. Otherwise, you'd never hit anything with
Like a
Yeah.
heat seeking.
Yeah, but if the ones with tracking, it's usually a laser, so it's painting the target, and then it hits that.
Maybe it
So
was
as
the
long
guy
as you
on
keep
the
it on the
left.
scope, the lasers on it, and it'll hit.
Oh wait, he's pointing at
This he
the
just aimed and shot and does turn, and it's like, no.
Hey, yo. It's the movie Wanted. He curved the missile.
Yeah.
He curved the missile. Because I was thinking about that in this episode. That rocket launcher, and it's got the whole scope thing on it, so it looks like it's a Seeker rocket. There are other ones
A
that
Stinger too, yeah.
that are just it's just like a tube and it shoots a missile or a rocket. Those ones I don't think have any tracking capability. So
This one,
that's
you'd
why I
have to
attributed it to.
either paint it with the laser while keeping it in the scope, which is 90% of the time on those. There is another model that if you lock onto it and it shoots a heat seeking one, but a death glider don't produce heat really much. So, because there's no real rocket engine on it.
Not heat
So-
from the sun on the skin.
And you got a hot desert, Abydos, it's a desert planet. That'd be pretty hard to nail the target.
Just trying
maybe
to come
it's-
up with something
I'm
here.
sorry, there's just a lot of issues.
I don't know exactly how shoulder fired surface to air missiles work, but I would maybe it's heat, maybe it's some other technology that allows the tracking.
Then
Maybe we should call ABF in for a little.
the other issue with
explanation.
heat seeking, they shoot those cannons. That's pure energy. That's heat. That rocket's going to follow that.
Yeah.
So that's where I have issues with this. That's like no. Some I did not like.
Well, here's an idea. Based on the original movie, they defeated Ra, and a couple of Death Gliders were still on the planet. Could they have reused some of those guns? Because we've seen teal'c carrying one around before.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Maybe.
That's not really anything I had down bad, but this whole conversation made me think like you could have given teal'c something different because he's done it before. That's how he took out Tanith.
He does keep that because he brings it out every now and then.
Every once in a while, and brings out the big boy, the BFG.
Yep. Also, the secret chamber looked amazing. I love that. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to take out of there. Then we got an issue as they're fighting inside the tunnel or inside the temple, right? We see teal'c here, right? Shooting an M246 light machine gun with 2 full moon clips going with belt fed
Magazines.
magazine on it.
That was cool.
That's pretty cool. But then Jack calls out to him for teal'c, and we see Jack, and then we come back to teal'c. Do you see a problem here?
He switched weapons.
Yeah, that's an M4A1 assault rifle with a grenade launcher on the bottom. So that's not right. So he went from
You
a badass
will
gun
actually need to explain this to me, like what's wrong here.
So if we look at the first one, right, that is a light machine gun, M246, and that has a bucket kind of underneath it with a belt fed, for the bullets.
Yeah.
And then they go to Jack, then he calls back over to teal'c, and you see this is M4A1, which is a regular assault rifle, kind of like an AR-15, stuff like that. And it's got a rocket launcher on the bottom, or not a rocket, a grenade launcher. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he switched guns in like a minute. It's like
I did not catch that, but maybe he's got like the all cheat,
Maybe.
all guns cheat on. He can hold all the guns in his inventory at the same time.
Yeah,
Or he's
maybe.
got all of his favorite guns lined up one next to each other.
Could be too. But I just thought it was really weird that whoops, wrong gun. Maybe he grabbed somebody else's gun that was down, but all the Abydonians'
In
guns
his pocket.
didn't have that. Yeah, because he doesn't have Junior, which has extra slots for additional weapons.
Hey, I'm liking some of these ideas in chat. Your guys are on to something here.
Yep. Yeah, it could be 249. I thought it was 246. M16. Yeah, it's tough to read in this too. I mean, it could be an M4. I mean, it's a tough one, but you could be right with that too. It could be an M16 A1. A1 is just with the M203 grenade launcher. So yeah, it's one of those guns. There's a lot that look the same. I like how none of them have red dot scopes on any of them either, which they should have on there. And if they do, it could be that front part near the barrel or the front end of the barrel. There's that little cube sticking up that could be, but that style red dot wasn't really around much at this time. So, but it is possible it is red dot up in the front instead of back on the handle where it's supposed to be.
Where the red dot goes, you bang.
Yeah. Yeah, the red dot's on them, you shoot. Next, we find out Sam has the key to the secret compartment in the secret chamber. It is
that was great.
P90. P90
and the laser sight.
Yep, and the laser to open the door. Yep. So,
That was actually pretty clever. Like,
yeah.
I
red
enjoyed.
ray-
Like, she's like, "Okay, move away, guys. I got this."
Yeah, I thought that was funny. She was like, "Here, I'll get it open."
Yeah.
There
Well,
you
the
go.
scientists and the archaeology worked very well together. This is why I
Yes.
was like, her and Daniel working together, albeit
Mhm.
briefly, was really fun. And then Jonas too.
Yeah. Then we see our favorite dumbass. I mean, Jaffa's back. We see Harak is back.
I like this dude.
I do too.
But he's such an idiot. That's
I
what I
know.
like about him. I like that he's an idiot.
I've always argued like we needed a good first prime, evil prime that could go up against teal'c, and this is the guy I've always been like, he was the right guy to be mean and nasty for teal'c to go showdown with.
How, because he's been in previous episodes before he was first prime, right?
Yeah. That's why Jack says, "Oh, you're failing upward."
That's what I thought. I'm pretty sure he's been in a few episodes before this.
Yeah.
And that ties into one of my lines that I wrote down.
Then I love this interaction between Anubis and Daniel.
This was cool.
Always sticks out in my mind for this show. You know, every time we get to this season and season 7, this whole interaction between the two always is stuck in my mind. That's why it's in the intro, because I asked for it.
Specifically.
I specifically asked for this. And then we see Skara's dying kind of again, but this time he ascends. We learned Anubis is an ascended being also. I love how Jack gets caught up with what's going on with Anubis and the tablet that they found. They're like, "Didn't you guys tell him?" Oh, yeah. Daniel found a tablet earlier. Then we see the mothership fully transform, and its powerful weapons. It has several of them, as you see. The shields are improved, but we knew about that from many episodes ago. And then we find out that there's this lightning weapon that he's got that destroys the hell out of all the Hataks, almost all of them. And then the last powerful weapon that we see that comes down. But before that happens, Daniel gets his bluff called to see how powerful he is and gets yoinked away from the scene, but it wasn't Anubis, was it? Nope. So
it would have been cool to see them fight, just saying.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Daniel tries to destroy him, but no, gets pulled away.
Yep.
We see Abydos get destroyed, like we've been seeing in our opening credits of our show for this whole season so far.
Yep.
So now you know what that was for. If you haven't seen
Special
this
shout out to Nerd
before.
Slap, our brother names.
Yeah, and shout out to my buddy up in Canada, Madison. He's just bought today. He told me the Stargate collection, and he's going to start watching it.
Awesome.
And then he'll
One
watch.
of us. One of us.
So he's going to be watching the podcast as he's watching along. So when he gets this far, this is where you're caught up now, bud.
Come to Raya.
Yeah. And then one of the final scenes. I love all the Abydonians were there. When they finally get the gate to work, and it's like, oh, there's hope. Maybe the planet didn't get destroyed after all. And, you know, they lifted up the Chapa Eye, and they were able to get through. And then with just a blink of an eye, there, you know, when Jack goes to get the ball, everything's gone.
That was well shot.
It was
I thought that
so
was brilliant.
well done. I got that marked on here in capital letters. Such a well done scene.
Yep.
I loved how they did that. And then go back to Skara. He's like, the Chapa Eye will be there until you leave. And they look, there it is. It's like, damn, such an emotional, powerful scene. It's like, yeah, we're okay. Don't worry.
We'll see you again, but not anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was referencing earlier the end. They all disappear. It's very bittersweet, but great end of the season.
At least Jack got to say goodbye to Skara. That was kind of the big tie. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the episode. It's called Full Circle for a reason. We are full circle in all the story arcs. You know, so now everything's wrapped up with Abydos.
Yep.
And Ra and what else did we?
Well, Ra for now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I had for scenes. How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, some of my favorite scenes are easily, like we've already talked about, Daniel and Anubis are fantastic. I think they play. I know it was David Palfy, so I mean he's been on the show numerous times. He's the original Sokar, so at least they kept him around to keep playing like Anubis, at least for now. But I enjoy the two working together. Like they seem to have a great presence to one another. I won't get into like some of my nitpicks about what they did in this episode yet. I do have some though. But I also really liked Skara and him getting engaged and inviting Jack. And there's that whole sequence with, oh, but you're invited to the wedding. I want you to be my best man. He's like, oh, sure. And he's like, and who are you going to bring? He's like, I'm sure Carter's invited. And I'm not trying to do the quote section scene. It's just, I love the banter and everything going around. And then looking at Carter and she's like, yeah, I'll go. She's like, yeah, she'll come. And Scar's like, as a date? And then it gets like really awkward. And he's just like, Jonas? And him and Carter kind of like at each other like, you know, don't you? So it's a nice little breadcrumb on the Jack and Sam little relationship arc that we're on. And
she said, yeah, as work friends or something like that.
Oh yeah, but you could almost tell like Scar's not buying their line like at all. Like because he's looking at her like I see what's going on here. So that's really cool, and just having Scar back every time is great. Alexis Cruz.
Yep.
Fantastic. Love seeing him. Goes all the way back to the OG movie. So
I was gonna mention that because we've mentioned it before, but yeah, you know, shout out to him because he was in one of the few people who was in the movie and in the show.
If anything, I would have maybe tried to bring back Kasuf as well.
Yeah, I would say good father.
That's the only, and that's not even like a nitpick. It's just if you were going to do Full Circle properly.
Mhm.
My guess is they
Because he was in a
probably
couple
tried to.
episodes, right?
He was in like 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah.
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 And they mentioned him in this one. He already went to the caves with the others.
Yeah. So it's just he's implied of he's with everybody. It's just it would have been cool to see him on screen like
One more time.
if we were doing Full Circle. Probably couldn't figure out his schedule, or he worked a lot of it. You look at that man's credits, Eric. He's been in like a million things. So he was probably super busy and they just couldn't make it work. Otherwise, special effects scenes are amazing. The action scenes are awesome, despite some of the issues with some of the action scenes. But it also knows when to slow down. So I say the pacing is fantastic in this episode. It's one of the best episodes of this season. And I think it's overall one of the great episodes to show how nasty Anubis can be towards people.
Yeah.
And still wonder what the hell he's up to. He's not just trying to reascend, he's trying to actually take over everything.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, there we go. So there's some cool, fun moments and great character stuff in this episode. Great story beats too. It really does go for Full Circle. Now, what do you guys have for some favorite lines? Who wants to go first?
I'm always happy to.
Sure.
Well, one other thing, just on like good parts, I also liked when after Skara ascended and Daniel comes back and they're like, "Hey, Daniel, we assumed that was you," and he's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" Like, yeah, Skara ascended. He's like, "That wasn't me," and he like realized, "Oh, Oma must be here." So that I like that little touch as well. But as for favorite lines, it was one that I think it was Rick mentioned in chat earlier when Jack admits that he's seen Daniel and he doesn't want to because he thinks that they're all going to think he's crazy. But then Teal'c's like, "I too have seen Daniel Jackson." He's like, "Why didn't you say anything?" Teal'c's like, "Why didn't you?"
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they're like, hey, you've seen him recently too. Yeah, you're the two who had the near-death experiences. Why didn't Sam get one? Come on.
So yeah, I think at that time, Sam was probably a little like, "Hey, why did you guys get to see him and I didn't?"
Yeah.
I think they made up for that in the premiere of the next season.
Okay,
but at the same time, it's like, I'll save it.
Yeah.
So that was the first one I wrote down. Oh, Dan, is that my stuff?
That's
using
next
it
season.
anymore. Yeah, that's right. That is next season. So, yeah, exactly.
Well, she gets to see him down in the chamber, And Joe.
Share a few words.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam. Yeah.
So the next one I wrote down is when they, they fall back to the treasure room, and they end up getting the Eye of Ra, and Jack takes it from him, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're gonna see how much Anubis wants this thing in one piece." As he's strapping C4 to the thing they just found.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
But yeah, that whole interaction right after that, when Harak shows up, and Jack is just like so sarcastic with him, and he's like, "You'll have to forgive me, I'm terrible with names."
Yeah.
He's just
Harak.
So that whole little interaction with Harak was great, and then at the end, he says, when Harak says, "I have to go report to my master," he's like, "Yeah, and tell him how you failed again," or whatever exactly it was he said. And Jonas is like, "Is it really necessary to antagonize him further?" He's like, "Yes."
Yeah.
So, as usual, like I said, all Jack's sarcastic humor is always like the highlight of the lines of the episodes for sure. So, those are the lines that I wrote down.
Right on. Skeeter.
Yeah. I got some long ones in here because the elevator scene's one of them.
That's a given.
Yeah. But at the beginning, Skara says, "All those willing to die," and Daniel turns around and says, "All those who must not fail." It's like, okay, that came out of nowhere. So, then Jack gets in the elevator. Here's Daniel. I was sure that was an aspirin I took this morning.
I was sure that was an aspirin I took this morning.
Jack, it's really me. It's me.
Yeah, here's our first long one. It's almost the whole elevator scene. Jack says, "Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Long time. How are things on the higher planes?" Daniel goes,
Oh yeah, when he
"Hey,
turns
Jack,
and
long
faces the
time no
camera.
see.
Yeah.
How are you doing?" Jack says, "Fine, just fine." Daniel, "The knees, the back, everything?" Jack says, "Oh, kind of weather contingent." Daniel says, right. So what's new, Jack? Actually, a funny thing happened to me today. I'm right in the elevator. An old friend of mine, someone who never calls, never writes, just shows up and tells me all about this very important, apparently urgent mission that needs my attention. Daniel goes, "Are you going to help?" Or Jack goes, "Wait, up, wait, let me tell it. It's good to see this buddy old pal of mine. This chum has ascended to a whole new level of existence. Do you see the irony? He's asking for my help, and he has all this great and powerful being, or he's this all great and powerful being." Just, I couldn't help stop writing it. I was like,
And Daniel kind of
it just
winces at
keeps
that, like,
going. And
Yeah.
Daniel's just, "Yeah, okay, Jack, get it out of your system. Come on." Then Hammond asking Jack, "Colonel, how'd you come by this intel?" Jack's like,
Colonel, how'd you come by this intel?
I didn't say?
No, you didn't.
"Daniel told me." Yeah. That was.
He's like relieved that everyone like immediately believes him and
Yeah.
that they don't think he's crazy.
yeah, Hammond's like, "So what did he tell you?" And he's like, "Wait, you actually believe me? Like,
Mhm.
we've been calling bull on Jonas for like 3 episodes this season,
Yeah.
and now you're actually gonna believe me?"
Then later on, I figured people would have gotten that one. That was much, but just to touch up on what Neo said. Jack says, "So, are you seeing anybody, Skara?" "Maybe." Jack, "Really? Is it serious?" Skara says, "We are betrothed." Jack says, Trust me, that's serious. Congratulations." Skara, "Thank you." Jack, "I assume my invitation got lost in the mail," or Skara says, "I wanted to ask you to be my shallow key, to stand beside me." Jack says, "Just during the ceremony, right?" Scar, yes. Jack goes, "I'll be honored." Scar says, "Will you come to my wedding alone?" Jack says, "I assume Carter is invited too." Scar says, "Of course. Will you be coming together?" Jack says, as in Sam pipes in and says, "Friends going to a wedding." Jack, yes, sure. Jonas. He just walks away.
I would have clipped that, but that was really
It was
long.
long.
We don't
That's
want to
why-
get hit on that stuff anymore.
That's why I thought I'll just say it all. I know it's not as good as a clip, but we don't need to get in trouble. So
We should do script reads.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say you could put it up on screen. Each take a roll.
yeah, that'd be fun. After we're done with the whole series, best episodes.
Yeah.
Ooh, make a note of that. Make a note of that one. Yeah, we'll have to call in like Neo and a couple others just to get some other roles.
This is true.
So
That could be interesting.
yeah. Oh, we got Jack and Sam already, so they can play themselves. Got 3 more lines here. Daniel says, "Okay, is that my stuff?" And Jonas says, "You weren't using it anymore." Daniel's like, Yeah. Like, yeah, you got a point. Then Jack says, I got the eye, and I'm about to pound and I got about a pound of very powerful explosives stuck to it. Give us a clear access to the gate or I'll blow it up. Rock says, yourself along with it? Jack's like, what's your point? Rock, I'll speak with my master. Jack yells back, yes, you do that. And don't forget to tell him you screwed up again.
Yes, that's the one I was referring to.
I was going to that one too that you're proud of.
Is it
That's
really,
one way to fail upward.
Yeah.
is it really necessary to antagonize them further? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, are you new here? Like, it's one of those initial. Thank you, just Jake. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of long ones. Those were the two I had. And then our final one, I think it was Rick who caught it earlier. Let me backtrack again. Wow, I must have overlooked it. Oh, there it is. No, it was just JK. Jack saying near the end, well, spank me, Rosie. What the heck does that mean? I've never heard that.
I didn't get that one either.
Oh.
I was gonna do a clip, and I thought, you know what? I'll just write it down in case nobody else brings it up.
Yeah,
and that is one of the other ones I had. And then
Just what's new?
Yeah.
So what's new?
No.
But the writing on this is impeccable. Like the great dialogue between everybody's fantastic. Written by Robert C. Cooper. I'd call him a very underrated writer on Stargate. Everybody talks about Joseph Brad and Paul and
Cooper's
some of the others.
I tend to like a lot more.
But I like a lot of Robert Cooper's.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them. There's a couple that are a little.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robert. No offense. They weren't. I wouldn't blame you for that. But hey, Dan, how you doing? Long time. Yeah. How are things in the higher planes? Hey, Jack. Long time no see. How are you doing?
I just love that that spin. Like, I hate when he does such crap.
Well, this is also the loosening up of Daniel's character too.
Yeah,
because he had been so like he was in Abyss. He was nothing like that at all. Same thing with the Changeling. This was more of Daniel Jackson and the turn of the Ascension, the Ancients. Sorry, the Ascended beings. I was going to say of them basically kicking them right back down in the next season. But we get to that ending, which is all like. Daniel got yanked away. What the hell happened to him? What's really going on? We really don't know until the next season.
Yeah.
But for things that maybe we did not like, Neo, you want to kick us off on this one?
Absolutely. Couple. I wrote down a few things. I'll start off the one that makes sense to the lore. Just I was disappointed by it in when Daniel's finally like, all right, I'm gonna stop Anubis, and then the Ancients intervene and prevent him from doing that. I was like, God dang it, you guys suck. So I didn't like that, but it makes sense that why that happens. Kind of like that skeevy guy from the last episode. I don't like that he did it, but it makes sense. But a couple of nitpicks that I had about the episode, it's like, I probably would have added in the whole M249, M16 thing if I had noticed it. I didn't catch that one. But after Daniel tried to stop Anubis and the Ancients or the Ascended stop him, and Harak says something along the lines of truly you are God or whatever, he basically just witnessed his power. And Anubis says, what you just witnessed was not my doing. Why the heck would he admit that to him and not make him think that he did that with his own power? That makes no sense at all.
This is my big thing. I got one more, but like this is my big issue with this episode. Like, Anubis, what the hell, bro? There's no way you should be telling your first prime, like, oh, I had nothing to do. Boast. Make him wonder, like, what's really going on. Like, he was defeated. I took care of it. It was at my whim that I defeated a being of that nature.
Exactly. So that makes no sense given, especially that it's Anubis who wants to, be the most powerful, entity in the galaxy, and he's not going to play it off like that was his doing. That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the
How do you
big
have him admit
things I wrote
that
down.
makes
Yeah, very non-gold. Like,
Yeah.
although technically, is he a gold?
We don't know about his true human form. We know that he's a Gould, but he's half ascended.
So that was the big thing. A couple of other little nitpicks I had is, while they're defending the gate room, why didn't they dial out first so they could escape if they needed to? They didn't dial out, and then that allowed Anubis to dial in, trapping them so they couldn't dial out. Why wouldn't they dial out first?
Yeah,
probably in order for the episode to happen, but it makes no sense lore wise. It's like you would know that that's a technique or a strategy that the Goa'uld will use is they'll dial in so you can dial out. Why would you preempt him and dial out? So give you 38 minutes of control of the gate, so you can escape if you need to. That that also didn't make sense. But if they did, then let's see here. It's almost like that theory of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like even if Indiana Jones wasn't there, the same thing would have happened. So maybe it's kind of like that, because if they weren't there, then Anubis would have gotten the Eye of Ra. But how would that have changed anything to begin with, since he ended up with it anyways? So
he would have still blown up the planet though too.
Yeah.
Why would you leave witnesses behind?
Most probably been the same, but they just would have gotten there a different way.
We've gotten the Eye of Ra. The other system lords wouldn't have gotten blown up. That's all. They just got destroyed later. That's all.
So maybe it doesn't really matter, but that was one thing I was like, why wouldn't they dial out when they know that they're about to be under attack? So, and then the last thing I wrote down,
because they didn't have the eye yet. They got the eye when they're being attacked, so that's why they didn't dial out. Because they would have dialed out once they got the eye to get away.
Right, but didn't they know that the forces were coming?
They did, but they wanted to get the eye before the forces did, so they could take it away or destroy it. So,
because what I would have done is I would have dialed out the gate to keep it active so they wouldn't get trapped while they're in there, so they have an exit strategy. So that's what I would have done if I was in the situation. But the other nitpick I had was at the end after Ra got the you know what? I think I might have realized why Anubis admitted that he wasn't the one that stopped Daniel, is because it made for a better line when he said, "What you just witnessed wasn't my doing, but this is," and then he he attacks all the other ones. Maybe it was just so he could have that line. But yeah, in lore it doesn't make any sense. But the other thing I wrote down as a nitpick is right after he says that, and you see the ship transforms. As soon as the ship starts transforming, why didn't all the other ships immediately start shooting at him? They waited till he fired to start shooting at him. Like, why would you wait that long? You can obviously tell that he's got some ace up his sleeve. Why would you? It might not have made a difference because you might not have been able to destroy him before he did it anyways. But if I was in those ships, as soon as that ship started transforming, I would have fired everything I had at it.
Well, he had like the Asgard shield technology around the ship, and he was the only one with that technology.
Did the other ships? I'm assuming they probably didn't know that he had enhanced shields. Yeah. So, but either way,
that might be that fine line that Daniel can't cross, because he tipped off Lord Yu and the other system lords to go attack right now, and it ended up being they show up, and yes, it's a significant battle, but it amounts to basically nothing really. Except a bunch of guys get defeated, and it's like, we're setting the stage for season 7.
So, given how strong his ship was, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but I think they should have started firing a lot sooner than they did.
The second they came out of hyperspace, I would have had them instead of just posturing and being like,
I have the same issue a lot of times in video games, because in cutscenes, your character just stands there and watches the bad guy do whatever he's going to do. It's like, why are you just standing there watching this happen? Do something about it to prevent them from doing whatever it is they're trying to do. So it's probably that. It's like, you got to let the bad guy do what he wants to do in order to make the episode happen. But that's
This
just
is
another
true.
thing that drives me nuts. No matter what medium format it's in, I hate it when the main character just watches the bad guy do his thing and then reacts to it when you could have stopped it, or at least attempted to stop it.
Right.
Well, you need to hear the villain's plot. You know, they always got to tell you their whole plot before you can do something. So
I like it when they don't say much and it makes you just wonder what the hell they're up to. Just save it.
So that's what I wrote down for my nitpicks.
All right, Skeeter.
not a whole lot. There was just minor nitpicks with the guns. Yeah, why didn't they attack Anubis right away when they're like, give us the IRA or else I'll get back to you. Pretty much what Anubis said, and they're like, all right, we'll wait. Like, what the hell? So, but, you know, maybe Lord used more respectful, you know, in the military ruling. Who knows? But really nothing else. I really like this episode. It's really well written, well done. We wrap up a lot of stuff in this. So I'm cool with it.
Well, they thought it might have been the last season, but it ended up not being the case. So that's why they went out with a bang. I was just looking at the little neat info tidbits on Gate World on each episode. And I was like, yep, they were definitely intending this. If this was the finale, this was going to be wrapping it up, so to speak. I mean, yes, they'd go off into the sunset, but still Anubis would be a lingering threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't have season 7 renewed yet at the time that they shot this episode.
No, but it probably came really quick.
So
after.
yeah, that would have been, if that was, I will give it, this would have been a better ending to SG-1 than the final episode was.
Oh, unending.
But that's because they thought they were going to get another season and then they didn't. And this is, they didn't think they were going to get another season and they did. So it's like flip-flop.
Yep, pretty much. Oh, geez. For me, the one thing that kind of bothers me is, so how long does this take place after the last episode? Because somebody just had brain surgery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like they don't give you any sort of timeline. They could have just been like, oh, a couple months ago. And then just been like, we've been on basically like forced leave for like the last bit. We could do like office stuff, but we can't go off world. We're on a mandatory little break. A little throwaway line would have helped with that a little bit.
Yeah, that's like very common with just TV shows in general. There's no actual sense of time over the course of like a season or whatever. So it can, it's very ambiguous. So they can kind of make it however far apart they need. Unless an episode picks up like right where the last one left off. It's like it could have been a day, could have been a month. Who knows?
Yep. And sometimes they do give you a timeline. It's like, but then that also kind of messes things up when they do that. It's like, at least be consistent one way or the other. If you're not gonna do time, just don't do it at all. Because the second you're like, 6 weeks ago we did this, and it's like, that was actually 9 episodes ago. What the? Yeah. So.
But yeah, Bill S. Preston, that I 100% agree. There are a lot of times it's a great show and they just butcher the series finale. So I totally agree. There's a number of shows that I've watched that have done that. So when a show nails the series finale, I love it.
It's rare when they do. It's most of the time they usually suck.
Yep.
Like me and Unending, I like the episode. It's a terrible series finale for SG-1. That's why I look at the movies as actually ending the show instead.
Same.
But yeah, that's my big nitpick, other than, you know, a little bit of the end that we were just talking about a little while ago. It's, you know, I like the Jaffa ninjas. And
that's right.
Anubis, why are you not taking claim for getting rid of Daniel? Why are you admitting you didn't have anything to do with that? I didn't like that. It's probably on purpose. So you brought up a good point, Neo, but I'm more on I would have gone the other way with that one.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like I would not sacrifice like his integrity as one of the most powerful system lords in existence just for the sake of a decent, not even that great of a line of, that wasn't my power, but this is, as he blows up the armada of other Hatoks.
But he's not your average Gould either. So,
well, this brings up my last little nitpick. What do you think about the face reveal that they did with the smoke and the skull thing? I think that would have been the perfect time to do the traditional Anubis face look.
I agree.
With the long snout and
the dog face.
Dog head. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was like, what do you mean by traditional? Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I liked it. I thought it was cool. There were two things that it reminds me of. I don't know why, but it reminds me of Gary Oldman's character as the spider creature in Lost in Space movie.
Yeah.
And then alternatively, it also made me think of Knights of the Old Republic 2. Is it Scion? Yeah, Lord Scion, because he's just like an entity with a mask. He doesn't actually have like a corporeal form. So that's the two things that made me think of, which the KOTOR reference is definitely a better one. Because I like that old Lost in Space movie. I know it has
I did too.
Pretty bad reputation, but that was my introduction to the Lost in Space franchise, because the TV show is way older than I am. But it's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it. So I haven't seen it in a couple of decades, but I like that movie. But I know it's one of those movies that people are like, oh, that movie sucks. Like I have a soft spot for it. So yeah, it could be a guilty pleasure. But so those are kind of the two things that his half ascended form reminded me of.
Okay. What'd you think, Skeeter?
Overall,
I was fine with it. I just would have preferred the traditional look.
I would have loved to seen the jackal head. That'd have been really nice. The skull head kind of like fits, but yeah, I'm more for the jackal head. That'd have been really sweet to see that showing. The kind of like, I am not human. I'm not a god. And I'm not ascended either.
I am death to this universe.
Yep. So that was kind of cool to see that. But still would have loved the jackal head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dr. Smith was such a weasel. I mean, yeah. I like the show and the remake movie from the 90s, but I didn't like was the Netflix show.
I liked that show.
I liked it. It was not the greatest, but it was not horrible either.
The first season was good. Second season was third season was no.
Yeah, the third season was really rough. They dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, and I love this eye. Did they ever explain what the eye actually does, by the way? Or is it just like a power crystal?
It was definitely a MacGuffin for sure. Because he gets it and then it
just disappears.
He says that he doesn't really tell us what it does and why he wants it, just that he does, and then he has it. And then did it actually have anything to do with making his ship more powerful, or was his ship just that powerful to begin with? It's very ambiguous.
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of that stuff out of that room, though.
Well, they did take that tablet that tips off Atlantis.
Yeah.
That's when Daniel's like, oh, no. Don't worry about the eye anymore. We won't just keep this tablet. It's like, what the hell are you doing, Daniel? It's like the longer he stayed in human form, the more he forgot. It became more human again.
Maybe.
Power amplifier. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to some scores, guys. Hey, Neo, what do you have for a score for Full Circle?
Out of 7?
Yeah.
Out of 7. I give it 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah, great episode. Like I said, I had more nitpicks with this one than the previous episode, but overall, I think I couldn't say that any of the season finales are bad. I definitely don't think this one is bad, because it was like I said, it was a great episode. But yeah, a couple of nitpicks, drops it down a little bit, but I totally enjoyed this episode. When we did our top 5 SG-1 episodes, in order to keep things a little more interesting, I took all of the series,
That's right.
season premieres and finales out of the running just because all of my picks would be from the season premieres or finales. So I took those all out of the running because they're all great. So when I did that, I was like, I would just want mid-season episodes just to make it a little more interesting. So great episode, but yeah, I do 6.5.
Okay. Skeeter, how about you?
I really enjoy this episode. I love Anubis. I love Jonas. And then having both in the episode makes this a 7.7 for me. Yep, we're fully locked. Gates on.
7.7 out of 7?
7 out of 7.
That means
7
he's
out of
trying to
7.
leave the galaxy with the 8th chevron.
He's
Trying to get to that 8th chevron.
75% of the way to the 8th chevron.
Yeah. Yep. For me, I'm going straight 7. I love this episode. I think it's fantastic. It's great balance. All the characters working together. And just to really quick bring it up. Yeah, they did kind of skimp out on Carter and Daniel moments in this episode, but at least they did interact a little bit, and then they make up for it in Fallen, which they have a really good heart-to-heart that actually convinces him to come back to Earth to try and remember what's going on in his situation there. So I feel like they do make up for that. I feel like they took that to heart probably in retrospect, like, oh, complaints from the finale. Why did they ditch Carter? Well, no, Carter had some really cool moments. Everybody had some really cool moments. Harak, man, when he's gone, he's kind of missing from the show. But a lot of good fun parts and more ancients and Omatasala and early leanings towards Atlantis. So a lot is set up with this finale in a great little cliffhanger that makes you wondering what happened to Daniel, because even Skara and the Abydonians say, we haven't seen him. We have no idea what's going on with him at all. And they are ascended beings at this point too. So it's like, uh-oh, what happened here? So it's awesome. 7 out of 7. For even up my nitpicks, I think this is a fantastic episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see here. What did Gateworld give you? Gateworld gave a fan rating of 8.99.
Wow.
So that's 9 out of 10. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And Darren's rating is 4 out of 4 stars.
Ooh.
So
That's
Darren, we're
fair.
back on page, brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then next week we're gonna be gearing up for the next season. It's gonna be, let's see here. Fallen and Homecoming. So basically 2 kind of big episodes saying goodbye to Jonas, and Anubis going after Jonas's homeworld. So it's another 2 for doozy. But I like Daniel and Jonas working together. I think it's great. Just wish they were setting Jonas up for going over to Atlantis in season 8. So fake line. Daniel didn't visit you, Carter? Some bitch didn't visit me either. Fake deaths, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Neo, you want to let everybody know where they can find you and what you got coming up next?
Yeah, absolutely. As always, love coming on here and talking Stargate. So thanks for the invite. Let's see here. I'm looking at last month. Let me pull up this month. So tomorrow I will be doing some more Satisfactory with my buddy Lois Expectations at 10 o'clock Pacific. We've been doing that on Wednesday and Friday mornings. Thank you for dropping my link there, Just JK. He's shown up a few of my streams lately. So always good to see you, Just JK. And then I'll be back with some more Metroidvania Monday on Monday, or I will be continuing suffering through this game Blast Brigade that I really, really, really want to like, but I can't for the life of me do it. And I just can't wait to get done with this game so I can move on to something that I do enjoy.
Right.
Which I've been looking forward to playing this game, Blast Brigade, and it looks great. It plays great, but it's just so many of the design decisions I just don't like, and I've not been enjoying my time with it, which sucks because I really want to like it, and I just can't. But I'll be continuing that on Monday. And then I will be continuing my Retro Rewind, where I play retro games on Wednesday evening as I continue Perfect Dark, the #1 best first-person shooter on N64. Fight me.
Yep.
So, and
That was fun.
then next Thursday, I actually won't be doing an open mic as well, because I do a once-a-month stream with my buddy Dude1286, because we're both big achievement hunters. We do a show called Achievement Chasers once a month, where we talk about all our achievement hunting over the course of the last month. Normally, we do it the first Thursday of the month, which would have been tonight, but I have had this scheduled for the last couple months, so we bumped it to next week. So, yeah, that's what this next week looks like. So, thanks for having me on again, as always.
Absolutely.
Just JK says blasphemy. Which, for anyone who doesn't get that reference, he's saying blasphemy because so many people love GoldenEye on N64. I love it too. I was just playing through it again. I had a lot of fun with it. I love that game. But Perfect Dark took everything GoldenEye did and did it better, and it is a much superior game. It didn't sell anywhere near as much. So the fraction of the people who played GoldenEye actually played Perfect Dark, and everyone's like, "Oh, GoldenEye's the best." Like, no, Perfect Dark was way better. But they don't want to admit it, and that's what his blasphemy is. But hey, I love GoldenEye. It's just Perfect Dark is better.
Right on. Well, thank you for joining us once more.
Thank you, Viking. Another person on my side.
There you go. I was never much of a Nintendo person. I could ask my wife. She was a big N64 person as well. I will ask her. I don't know if she played a whole lot of GoldenEye, but I know she's played Perfect Dark.
Oh, so all right.
I played I never had a 64 when it came out, but my neighbors did, and a couple of my buddies did, and we played both. I can't really pick which one.
I've still got
better. They both. I like them very much both. Mainly GoldenEye, where you get the zip cord. Was that GoldenEye? Where you got the Gatling gun or not Gatling gun, zip line gun where you shot it out and it zipped you to another spot, or is that a different one?
Grapnel?
Or grappling hook, yeah.
Batman has that.
No, it was
Just Cause franchise has that, but GoldenEye does not have
it was different.
There might have been another James Bond game that does, but
yeah,
GoldenEye
it was a different
does
007 game that did that, and that was my all-time favorite.
Okay, I don't
So
know
that
that
one
played any other James Bond game, so I don't know which one.
Is
you're
it James
talking
Bond
about.
Legacy?
I can't remember. It's been so long. Everyone hated me playing that because I just have that in one hand and just a pistol in my other hand. I'd zip around the room because I'd shoot myself to the ceiling, to another wall, to the floor, up to the ceiling, and bounce around. Nobody could get a good hit, and I'm just randomly firing every time I see him. And I'd hit
Cheater.
him. Yeah.
Was it Agent Under Fire?
Maybe.
Oh, that was on N64. I remember.
I
that.
just Googled James Bond game with grappling gun, and that's the first one that came up.
Yeah, it must have been that one. Oh, or The World Is Not Enough.
I haven't played that one either.
Oh, maybe that's.
I
I can't
love that
remember. It's been
movie.
so long. It was like when the game first came out. But I did play GoldenEye too because I remember you got the golden gun. And
We need to do some James Bond movies on this channel.
yeah.
So, but I love both games. I still have right there are my N64 boxes for GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Those are the only two boxes I still have for my N64 games. So
Good man.
I should have kept my Ocarina of Time box. I still got my cartridge. I just don't have the box that it came in.
Yeah, it's trying to save paper boxes for decades is kind of tough on that one. All right, Skeeter, let everybody know where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
Yeah, you can find me on here every Thursday night, Suns and Shadows Network with the Stargate Files. You can catch me Saturday on Deadwire Live on the Suns and Shadows Network. It'll be my last Saturday for a while because wedding season kicked in. Then you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads under the Stargate Files. You can find me on X under Skeeter at the Stargate Files or Skeeter on Sound. Yeah, that's pretty much everywhere you can find me.
You can find me here as Suns and Shadows on our normal channel. And I am back from vacation and we'll get back into the full swing and gear of things. And maybe I'll be able to work on some additional clips, some fun stuff for the Stargate show, and some of our other shows as well. And next week, we're going to be getting back into some horror and science fiction, back on our movies on Tuesdays. Thursdays are Stargate nights. And every Saturday night is Deadwire Live, where we do some horror and science fiction and pop culture news. And we give each other a little bit of hell from the whole week in general. So I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Do us a solid, hit that like button on the way out. Share and subscribe. We are going to redirect on over to Derek Anderson, the DA. If you want to ride on over the raid and let him know that Suns and Shadows sent you. He's a good dude. We want to send some people on over his way. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Come try
Come try it.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Stop by anytime. In fact, I'll take you fishing. I'd love to do that. There's this lake in northern Minnesota where the bass grow that big. Well,
Don't call us. We'll call you.
We better get out of here.
No, really?
No, really.
You will go. Right. You will go.
Think it gets showtime?